Hey everyone, and welcome to the North America Animal Pack of Planet Zoo, the brand new DLC that has just been announced a couple of seconds ago. And before we dive into analysis and looking into even more screenshots, I will now play the trailer for you, and hopefully you guys are going to enjoy that. So, talk to you after the trailer. Alright, so here we are at the beginning of the first shot of this new wonderful North America Animal Pack. Before we go deeper into this, I certainly do have a little bit of information about this, and as you can tell from the point of the release of this video, I obviously had these information for quite a while, which this time was a little bit tricky, to be honest, but whatever. Let's go into it. So this DLC is going to be amazing, and I'm going to read out the additional info later in this video, but first of all we're going to break down the trailer, because there's already quite something in here. So we can already spot to the left on here, there's a kind of moose running around. So this is the first confirmed animal from this shot. I might say as well, at least I haven't spotted anything and I have no information about this, but I think there is no real new foliage or anything in this pack. So it's again, like the Southeast Asia animal pack, it is a focused animal pack that has a couple of enrichment items which I'm going to talk about, but other than that we don't really have that much else. So let's go to the next shot, and over here we can see this is a habitat for the wonderful Californian sea lion, as you can see in the water. It's actually kind of funny though. We all hopefully that this thing is going to have some other color patterns, because at this point it looks always a little bit different in terms of these things. But I figured this one over here is, and I'm just checking right now, that this seems to be the beaver actually over here. So it's North American beaver, and this fits to the pack, so it's really cool to have that in here. There you can see the little fellow. It is beautiful. We are going to have a screenshot later on. I'm just going to skip back here for a second, because that animal is so beautifully done. And I'm so happy to have that one in here. Now, what you can tell over here, we do have some fake dam structures, which I'm quite sure they can't use. I'm really interested to see what they exactly did. I mean, these are obviously the game assets they have, so very nice stuff. And if you guys follow my channel closely, you know that I have a certain park called Yosemite Valley, which is, to be honest, at this point, it's the most fitting park ever created, I guess, because that is like 110% a brand fit. So I'm really hoping that this is going to be a very good fit for us, and we're going to have some fun with it. But let's skip forward a little bit more. So this is the wonderful overview, and in this spot over here, as I said already, there's not really anything new to spot. So normally we would go crazy now on spotting the differences in pieces and items, but I'm quite confident that most of these items are the same. I do have something to tell you guys though, and this is about this chimney on this side, which the wonderful Eben did tell us in a little chat we had, and I actually didn't see that in the beginning, but I'm going to show you what we meant, or what he meant. And this is the wonderful shot over here, which wants you to have a look at this moose, which is hiding down here in the lush foliage on this island with the beautiful contrasty colors. I love that a lot. But this chimney over here is made out of the normal yeah, what is that, kind of Asia brick pieces. I think this is even the Asia pack though, but we don't have these kind of small pieces. They don't exist. We do only have those bigger pieces. You know, I use them a lot in you know, in Yosemite Valley. So this is why I certainly know that Eben is totally right in saying that we didn't have these thin pieces. And I think it goes very well into what we have seen with the mud pieces in the last pack. So Frontier didn't really talk about that, but all of a sudden we had like these couple of mud walls that were added to the mud set. So maybe we are going to see this pattern occurring in the future even more, that we will get some of these individual non-grid pieces of certain wall sets that we didn't have yet, because we all know how much we love them. So if that's kind of part of the free update, I'm very well in for it, because this is always such a great addition. Even though it doesn't seem like much, it always is a lot that adds to the game and to the building side of things. And I will in particular talk at the end of this video about my opinion about this pack, and in comparison to the Southeast Asia animal pack, where I had a little bit of caveats about this, but this thing over here, this is brilliant, but I'm going to talk about this later. So let's go fully into the next shot, and this is this is the moose. Oh my god, guys, this is the moose. I love moose. Okay, I like this animal. They are kind of weird animals, but at the same time I love them. I gotta say though, this model, I don't know, even though it obviously is a moose, but I'm not like 100% sure what I should think about it. It's most certainly a funny moose. It's the American variant of the moose. I don't know, it looks funny though. It looks very funny. It's a little bit of a derpy one. Lady will definitely love that one, because it's derpy derp. Yeah, you can see, but again, like, I do love the antlers. They look really good though, really nice. And then we've got another shot of the beaver, and I love that one. Look at this chunky little thingy over here. Let's just skip forward a tiny bit here. I want to show you again the chunkiness. Look at this chunky, I love that. Like, oh, with the thick arms and the fur, and it just really looks, and it also has this like little bit of a the face is looking like a bit mean. I think like beavers sometimes look very mean. They look very concentrated. They're like workers, you know, and I like that. Like, it just gives me a little bit of a glimpse of Timberborn. But yeah, so this is what we can see from the beaver. I'm really interested also about the animation, if they do something spectacular with their tail. Very interested to see what they do about this. But now this is the tease, guys. This is the tease. And I mean, you definitely know it better than I do, because most of you American guys will understand this pattern, this fur and whatever, better than I do. But this is the wonderful cougar, and guys, I'm so happy we have that one. I remember that this one is potentially the most requested animal for Yosemite Valley, and I know that there have been mods about this thing. However, I did not use them for a good reason, and this is now finally the official cougar coming into the game, which I'm really curious to see, and I'm really tempted to see that one. Also, look at the difference in the texture and stuff, you know. I think Frontier's always doing a really great job on these textures and different color patterns. I'm really also very interested for the different skin variants of that one. But let's skip forward, because this is just like a little tease. The same tease as over here with the wonderful alligators, the American alligators. So we can now finally do some Everglade stuff, you know, what I did in Summer Lake, actually. So I love this shot, by the way. It's also one of these brilliant panning shots here, following the alligator in that water, and then very close up with all these leaves and stuff in the way. Kind of cinematic though. I really like this shot. Now, going into this picture, there's also a couple of things to spot over here, and this is, I'm not quite sure, but this looks like a new lantern. I haven't seen this lantern in this game so far. It looks like a pretty normal street lamp, but I'm sure we didn't have a street lamp. I know that we had like kind of one to assemble, but this looked different than that one. So also because of these things that are pretty thin over here, so I'm quite certain that this is a new lamp. So that's a good thing. Maybe it's kind of something to assemble, or maybe it's just like a free update, but that's definitely one. And the same goes for this lovely sign over there, so we can assume to get some signs. And just little side note, I have no idea about the pieces. I only have the information that this is an animal pack and all the animals that are officially announced, and they will be also in the copy text that you will see from the announcement. So we are going to skip forward a little bit after we've wishlisted that on Steam. I didn't do that. There you go. There's another beautiful shot of the sea lion. And I know, guys, so many people have been asking for this one since the release of the seals. So very nice that we do have the sea lion now. I'm just skipping a little bit forward here because we have a better shot of that one. There you go. And I think you can already tell that they have different skin variants over here. Like if you see that one, it's a lot more desaturated than the right one. This one is very much going towards a saturated one, but we do need those very dark, almost black ones that you used to see actually in San Francisco on the piers, and this is, oh gosh, it's so stinky over there, but it's so fun to see them on the pier. What was it, 43, pier 43 or 47? I forgot the number again. I should remember because I loved it there, but okay, well, never mind. I ate some very beautiful and very tasty pancakes over there, watching all these sea lions enjoying the sun in the harbor of San Francisco. That was really cool. But you can see those wonderful animals in here. And they're roaming around. I like the big group that they have, and because they always form like big groups, and they're also very loud. So I'm very curious to understand how loud they will be. We've had some good taste in the trailer already. If you haven't heard that, you know, go back to the trailer. I included that with full sound, so you should be able to catch that again if you haven't already. But yeah, I like the model a lot. It's a very good model of the sea lion. I like that one. It looks really familiar to the real one that I would see, like with the very crest here on the forehead and stuff, you know, and these big fins, like, are they called fins or whatever? Very nice, and like the way how they move, like jumping forward a little bit, and you can actually hear this, even though the sound is muted. You can hear this. Look at that. Okay, I'm not gonna make that all the time, but you know what I mean, okay? So the game is definitely better in what. I also love the fact how it's like in the background. It looks really cool though. Look at that. It's just very accurate. The body is forming very weirdly, and it's definitely completely different than the seal. So we do have a kind of a different animation rig here, which is beautiful. Now, before we go into the screenshots, let's finish up the list of animals that are in here. And it's pretty cool because two animals we haven't seen yet, or at least I haven't seen. So maybe there's a screenshot occurring on Steam right now that I don't include because I'm recording that in advance, because when you are watching this video, I will be at work, okay? I won't have time to answer comments or whatever. I'll do that later today, but you guys can comment the hell out of it because I'm very curious to read what you guys think of this wonderful DLC. And if you go actually in line with what I will give you as a little conclusion later in this video. But the animals that we are getting are the American beaver, the moose, the Californian sea lion, the cougar, the American alligator, the black-tailed prairie dog, which is basically a meerkat, but also with the digging mechanics, and quite a bit of a surprise here, but the Arctic fox, and I'll have some details on the Arctic fox later. And we've one more exhibit animal, and that is going to be the American bullfrog. Don't count me too excited for that one. I'm sorry, but it's just like exhibit. Okay, whatever. We will also get some cool stuff, enrichment items, which will be the beaver pool, the pronghorn pinata, the skittle feeder, which I just googled, which looks funny, but I have no idea what that is. The melon feeder, which is basically, I guess, like the what's the other thing is for the blood pumpkin. It's basically now a melon thing for like the non-carnivores. That's also pretty nice. And we've got the underwater plant feeder, which I'm very curious to see how they pulled that one off. But yeah, so this is very exciting stuff, and I'm really interested how this is all being done. But I think this is the time where we need to jump over to the screenshots, because more than half of the trailer is basically this yellow block, and then you just go all the way over and it's all yellow, just to show you this. I will definitely cut that for the video. It's actually too long. Whatever. This is the first screenshot, guys. This is the American alligator. Let's have a little look into that one a little bit more closely. I think from this shot over here, like in the foreground, for me personally, I would have had a hard time to tell this one apart from the already existing saltwater crocodile. Not gonna lie, I'm not so much of an expert. Like, I can tell this definitely from this view. I could have told that because of the way wider mouth, and it's actually not as, you know, it's not as pointy towards the front of the nose and stuff. But from this one over here, it also, the perspective doesn't really help to understand. But like this one in the background shows you really the American alligator, and of course, I mean, the tiny bit smaller size does also play into that one. So again, there's nothing really exciting in this shot because we know that there won't be that much of pieces. I will still try to figure it out, but there's not that much. Let's have a look into our wonderful friend, the beaver, and that is boy, am I happy about this animal. I think this is going right into the top 5 animals in the game, style-wise or like art-wise. It looks really cool. I love the fur. I love the face. This is potentially one of the most realistic animals that Frontier did. They somehow have a bit of a variance between somewhat cartoony to super realistic, and this one is definitely on the side of super realistic. I'd love to have them all animals go into the super realistic area, but then again, it just does really not maybe 100% tie into the game, whatever, but I really do like this one a lot. It has like these very realistic lines, the eyes are kind of realistic, the ears and the overall shape of the body is super realistic too. So I love that one. Look at the also like the paws with the little claws and stuff, and I love the tail, like the waffle. It's really like a waffle iron, whatever. But you know, I have no idea if that's called in English the same way. You would do that in German, but you know me, I'm just taking these German phrases and just like straight up, without any regrets, I'm bringing them into English, and if you like them, use them. And we've got a last shot of our friend the moose, and you know, this thing over here is a little bit better to spot in comparison to the one. By the way, what is going on here with the shot? I think the shot is kind of broken. I haven't spotted that beforehand, but this is just kind of broken. It's not me, guys. There's something is broken in this shot. As if they were cutting out something. It doesn't make any sense because there's also the... That's funny. Okay, I did not recognize that earlier, but that's like a little bit of a broken screenshot. But you can see, again, very nice antlers. I love the ears with all the little fuzziness in there. The eyes are nice. Like from this shot, I think it's looking a little bit better than I thought from the trailer, so it's looking good. I love the texture. I love the texture over here. It looks like almost like a little bit like the skin is kind of a little bit crackled, you know, just not like super tight. I love that. I really do love that. But again, there's unfortunately not that much more, but there's one more shot, and that is the one from the American sea lion. And again, I just told you how much I love that one, also with a bit more of a detail in the fur here. You can see that dude in the background looks a little bit different, which I like, with like a bit of a black outline around the eyes, which I think is really cool to see that they also focus on making these models a little bit more varied when it comes to the texture around the eyes. Not sure if that's male or female, but I'm quite certain that this is a female. This is definitely a female. Is that maybe the male version? I'm not too much of an expert of the sea lions. I just know they stink, they love fish, and they are very loud. That's my expertise about these animals. And then we've got a last overhead shot, which again, I would love to really go deep into that and just analyze every single bit, but it's very hard to do when you know that there's most likely just some detailed things added to the game that you don't really spot that easily. And also, like, there's a moose again down here. Nice. I like this level, by the way, that they kind of created for this update. So really happy about this. But anyways, let's go, which I think we're going to keep it on the beaver because I think this is my favorite. Now, I think that this is, I mean, out of the two animal packs, definitely my favorite. But I think this pack, compared to all the other DLCs we had in the past, is really great. I think I wouldn't favor it over the choices of animals when it comes to the African pack. The African pack was really dope, and it was my favorite pack of all time of Planet Zoo so far. But this one is right in there. And this is down to a couple of reasons. So I'm very happy with the choice of animals when it comes to North America. I think most of my wishes have been fulfilled. There's really not that much lacking anymore from North America, other than birds, but birds are not in the game, so we can't expect them. But the big thing about this is if you tie that into the free update and consider the free update part of this bigger DLC environment, I want to call it that way. It's a bit harder, but you know, kind of take that as one environment, okay, and one big update, which you have to pay for partially. But if you consider this all together, because you always have to think about this way, between two DLCs, Frontier is working on the next stuff, and only half of it is paid by the DLCs and other half of it is a free update. But what happens lately is that it seems there is a shift happening towards the free update. I would actually say that the last updates were, on my side, the quality of the DLCs are somewhat similar, but the quality of the free updates are always increasing, which is great because that means you get more value for your money if you, again, look at the bigger picture. And I think this time around, it might be the best symbiosis out of the free update and the animals given, plus a couple of little items you'll get. there is so much more that the game offers now. Like, if we just go through the list of animals, and I will do this with you together, because there's a couple of things you have to really keep in mind, and normally I wouldn't be so picky about this, but I'm really just happy. I'm very throughoutly happy about this update, because it shows me again, like I said yesterday in the free update video, it shows me the game is on its right way, it's on a good path, and I can't wait for the holiday season this year. Now we have the American beaver, which first of all is a fan favorite. Second of all, it's a completely new animal with a couple of new animations, and I know it's kind of, you know, very close to the otter, but it's still very different. It will definitely bring some very new animations with it, because there are kind of some things they have to do because they're so iconic to the beaver. It is adding another semi-marine animal, that means, or semi-aquatic I should say, another diver in the game, which is brilliant because you can make even more use of it. Again, pair that with a 2-meter dive option, which will definitely apply to that one. I'm quite certain about this. You have a couple of new options to play around with this one. You've got the moose, which is a solid integration. I think it really goes way more into the game, also with the reindeer and stuff, like somewhat more, you know, basic animals, like zoo animals, also for European zoos if you want, so very solid one. Californian sea or California sea lion is a fan favorite. We don't have to talk about that. Another diver, another semi-aquatic animal, another option to do great viewings, to make some shows even. And guess what? The update with the seating area of the educator, dang good. Again, very nice. It brings a lot more things into it. Kind of North America paired with the height map is another win. Then we have the cougar, and I don't need to say more than we have now big cats diving, and I'm quite certain that the cougar will also dive, so we've got 4 big cats now diving. That adds another 4 animals to the divers, plus the beaver, plus the California sea lion, plus the alligator. Guys, this is insane. We get 8 new diving animals. You have to see it that way. It's really cool. Then, speaking of the American alligator, we've got another one of those animals that have been requested quite a lot. We've got a good choice of alligators and crocodiles and stuff like that, so you can make the reptile houses of your dreams. Really cool stuff. We've got the black-tailed prairie dog, and I know ever since the release of the meerkat, which people actually were really happy about, you basically get a 2.0 meerkat if you want. I would say Alan is happy. Alan, for everyone who knows. I mean, it's a groundhog, but never mind. Was it a prairie dog? I forgot which one. For those of you who know that side note, put in the comments what I was talking about. So that's cool. Really solid one. Another very small animal which people love. A very nice animal for zoo environments, classic zoo, city zoo, fits very well in there. And then we've got the last one, which feels a little bit odd to me, and it's the Arctic fox. And I have the feeling that this is a recycled animal. Let me just say it that way. Don't get me wrong, I'm very happy that we have that one. I'm super happy about the Arctic fox because it's a beautiful animal. It has some very playfulness in it, and it's a beautiful looking one. It's giving you a couple of options to make like a nice little ice kind of snowy habitat, which is smaller than with most of the animals that we have for this area, and it goes well into what we got with the fennec fox. So another very good addition and a very good follow-up to the African DLC. So you can really see the pattern occurring again and again over here. But again, this Arctic fox is a bit of a weirdo for me. It just kind of doesn't really fit into the roster here. You know, I take that, but I just have that little feeling it takes away a spot for another animal that would have fitted a bit better, but whatever. I love the animal, so I take that, but it's, again, from all the animals we have in here, it feels a bit weird, but other than that, I love it, and I think I will make great use of it for a different zoo, other than Yosemite. But yeah, you can tell I'm very stoked. I'm very happy about this DLC. I'm very excited to see what we can do with it, and you can... Please, guys, if you are new to the channel, if you are on here but you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so, because you can expect me going crazy in the next coming weeks with Yosemite. My plan is to end Yosemite Valley on a high note now, and you can expect me in the next 2 weeks after the release of the DLC, there will be Yosemite Valley madness, okay? I will do some one-offs, but I will focus on bringing the best of this into Yosemite Valley. I've got a lot of ideas. I will make an update video for you in the coming days, which will show you the ideas. You can take part. You can bring all the comments in that you think would be valid, because Yosemite Valley is legit the perfect environment for this DLC. It is as if the zoo was made for this DLC at one point. And I'm very glad I didn't end Yosemite Valley back a couple of weeks ago, because, you know, rumor had it that we were going towards North America, and you can believe me, I had no idea. This time around, it really took a long time until the rumors got a little bit more thick, and, you know, you had the ideas. So anyways, if you want to see that, make sure to subscribe, because we will go crazy on that. And then yeah, there's not much more to say. Please jump down in the comments down below. I know it's been a bit more detailed this time around, because I really wanted to give you my full opinion and my full thoughts on that. I really hope you enjoyed that. Please also let me know in the comments down below if you enjoy this, if I give you this kind of deep insight to what I'm thinking, because if not, I can just skip that and leave that for different videos, like Let's Plays or so whatever. If you want to listen to that, you can. And yeah, so let me know in the comments down below, what's your favorite animal? What is the animal you're most looking forward to in this DLC? What is your favorite change? And potentially, what are you missing? Is there any animal from North America that you are missing out on? Let me know in the comments down below. And also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We'll cover this like crazy. And I wish all of you a good time. Have a good day. Stay safe. And we talk soon. Goodbye, everyone.